I want to get your reaction to the speed of the firing here. Could you explain to us what the difference is that you're aware of between New York City taking over 5 years to fire the officer in a similar case, in the Eric Garner case, and these officers fired less than 24 hours after the event?
Well, I want to commend Chief Arredondo for taking quick and decisive action. It seems to me that Chief Arredondo is a very careful person who observes proper protocols, understands that policing is not always easy and that there are two sides to every story. But I'm sure he got both sides of that story and came to the conclusion that these 4 officers failed to live up to the standards that we have in Minneapolis. And it wasn't just the one officer who, based on the tape, had his knee on Mr. Floyd's neck, despite protests from the people looking on and from based on Mr. Floyd. But those 3 who stood there clearly just watched it. I'm sure they'd say I was just doing my job, but we expect people to do what's right, not just do what their peers might expect of them. Because if the culture's wrong, then people will act in a wrong manner. And so I'm glad that he took the action that he did. I think it was right. And I think that it's not an easy decision, but I think that it's what Minneapolisans expect.
The police union issued this statement: "Now is not the time to rush to judgment and immediately condemn our officers. An in-depth investigation is underway. Our officers are fully cooperating. We must review all video. We must wait for the medical examiner's report. Officers' actions and training protocol will be carefully examined after the officers have provided their statements. We ask that the community remain calm and let the investigation be completed in full." What is your reaction to that?
I actually think that the investigation should be moved forward, and I think that everybody should cooperate with the investigation. But you have some video from the scene from onlookers. You have police video from the body-worn type. You may have some from other sources as well. We know that his hands were cuffed; they were behind his back. So I think yes. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in Minnesota will be doing their investigation. The FBI will be doing one as well. And I think it is important to get down to the facts. But I think that, and I hope this investigation will be swift, expeditious, and thorough. But I also don't think that means that the community cannot express its outrage, disappointment, and frustration. This is not the first time we have seen deadly force encounters with the police. We've had Philando Castile, we've had Jamar Clark, we've had others, and of course there's a national scene involving everybody from we can go on back to Rodney King, or why stop there, Eric Garner. This is a national historic problem. People are outraged by it, they're sick of it, and they want government to be responsive. And so to say, let the investigation happen, and then on the other hand, I mean, that should not mean don't protest, don't be upset, don't demand that there's a thorough and expeditious investigation. Both can happen, both should happen.
Can you clarify for us why the police were approaching him?
Well, apparently there was a call that a counterfeit bill or some sort of a forgery charge, which is a nonviolent charge. It's a property offense, and he was only suspected. There's no definitive proof that even occurred, but that was the purported reason for that. He wasn't harming anyone when they approached him, so the idea that things went this miserably wrong this fast is a cause for investigation as well. They could have issued him a ticket and said, you show up in court. Apparently that didn't happen.